Hello there. Today on Skullman Speaks, I want to go over something that has been bubbling below the surface of my interest for quite some time now, but it just keeps being brought back up, so I'll do my best to dispel everything I can. The problem at hand would be my repeated comparison to Sans the Skeleton, who originates from Undertale, and off the bat, you can already understand if people were to confuse us as to who is who. It's gotten to the point of even myself being in on this whole joke, but it can only go on for so far before I make note of how this is creeping into every crevice surrounding my character. Tweets, insults, hell, even fan art. Thanks for that, Millie. I really do appreciate the art. Same for everyone else who makes me art, but I'll probably display that in my upcoming special. I think the best course of action is to compare and contrast myself and this strange monster in order to deduce whether or not we are more alike than what comes to the eye's perception of us both. Am I secretly a skeleton or just a man who shares the same palette with the guy? Find out here, live, and for all to see. First of all would be the visual efforts made by the both of us, as I sport a white beanie, a blue turtleneck, black pants and boots that are white with black stripes. On the other hand, Sans bears no head accessories, wears a blue hoodie, a white shirt, black shorts and... well, it's hard to pin down what kind of footwear he has since it alternates in colour and type so often, but we'll just go with slippers this time around. Now, while you could say that our appearances are similar down to what colours we wear, there are alterations in the type of clothes that should be enough to easily pick from. What about more difficult things to change though, like actual flesh or bones? Well, despite being white all over, I am simply extremely pale to the point of being in constant fear, as some would describe me as, if pushed for an answer. With enough sunlight this could be altered, but the necessary nutrients would likely be lost due to the chemical makeup that I am adorned with, but that will be discussed later. As you would expect from a skeleton, Sans lacks any facial features besides a mouth, nose and eyes, which doesn't cover that which I possess in the form of hair, a beard or scar, which would be impossible anyway since he has no skin, let alone the fact my jaw capability stretches far more than anyone's should, even if we disregard the sharpened teeth which fill my mouth. I'll give the eyes though, perhaps just a happy coincidence on both of our ends. Moving on towards the personalities that we both have shows we actually hold a semi-comparative bond in that regard. For starters, our voices hang in the same category of being low and somewhat quiet, despite the skeleton only making noises instead of words, but I suppose when a text box pops up, you can figure it out for yourself. The two of us have absent fathers and young brothers, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are alike, since while Sans are skeletal, mine are demonic in nature, like myself. Unfortunately, comparing our habits is redundant due to my screen time being composed mostly of speaking to you regarding topics or opinions I put together, so I'll leave that as an open case. Though we can both lock in the fact we dunk on kids, rightfully so considering their actions. It would make sense to tack on the fact that we both are caretakers for pets, though in his case it is a rock compared to the cat I have raised, but I will not pass judgments. It seems to be in good health by rock standards. Lastly, I should break myself and Sans down to our cause as what we are to give the most basic answer to our question, which has been looming over me for so long now. I have made mention of it already, but as creatures or monsters, Sans is a skeleton, which, from his world, is capable of casting magic primarily to form bones or manipulating gravity through some means I'm unaware of. There is also the Gaster Blaster thing, which is more machine and magic, but this whole time-stopping power is pretty cool itself. Myself, I am a shapeshifter, making it wholly possible for me to take any form that is worth conjuring, though it doesn't mean I can carry over the powers of the creatures I turn into, so in this form I can't do magic, but can take blows far more easily. If I were to turn into something akin to a ghost, then I would take magical attacks poorly, whilst being able to dish them out just as well. This begs the question as to what is stopping me from being confused with Sans then, but the answer to that has been staring at you this whole time. The scar is permanent, no matter the form, and carries over in one way or another, similar to the colouring being forced to do so as well, if not a lot more muted. It is easier to cover up the latter than the former, but I make it work. Thus, whilst I could be him, I am certainly not Sans. That aside, this video is somewhat of a joke, but has snippets of lore shoved inside of it to flesh out who I am compared to the soul that gives this body the ability to talk, if that makes sense. I have no intentions of making a full-fledged breakdown of my character, but I could always explore it across different Skullman speaks before crushing it all down into a singular video, but I'll have it in mind for now. In any case, this has been Skullman Speaks, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully.